fun little collective and talk about how when you raise your standards, you raise your frequency, and that sometimes explains why you have fallouts in your life. This doesn't have to be in your love life, it could be your friendships or your family. And you'll notice this, that your circle changes when you change your standards, the standards that you set for yourself. Okay, it comes very much with you having an awareness of your patterns, an awareness of your subconscious urges and drives. And when you start to weed out your own toxic behaviors, you don't align with those people anymore. They don't match your frequency. They don't match your vibe. Literally, they don't match your vibration. They're not going to be attracted to you because you've changed. And you haven't necessarily changed. You've just healed. You stopped doing things that aren't meant for you anymore. You stopped people pleasing. You stopped chasing. You stopped making space for people who make you feel bad. Maybe you've even stopped going to bars, or maybe you don't go to parties anymore, or maybe you do, but you leave early. There's something about you that's healthier, that's better. And so your goals don't align anymore with certain people. And that can be a huge reason why we lose people in our life. We don't really lose them. We just don't match energies anymore. Our energies become less entangled with one another. And even if we were to come into alignment with them in some type of way, shape, or form, it wouldn't really fit. We'd be molding ourselves to shape into their lives, falling into bad patterns to keep people into our lives. And it's meant to happen that way, right? It's almost like when you get a better career, you're able to afford to go to different restaurants. You're able to afford new clothes. You look different. You change. And so you're not going to go to the same places that you used to go to because you can afford better restaurants. You can afford to go, if you do go out to clubs, you can afford better clubs. You can afford bottle service. You're going to attract a different vibe of people when you raise your standards, when you raise your vibration, when you raise your frequency. You're not going to be a match. You're not going to like the same things. Hi, guys. Hey. Please do not spam the chat. Do not comment the same thing over and over again, or I will remove you. I've been having to do that a lot today. I don't know what's going on. People are drinking the Kool-Aid. So we'll get some cards about it, but yes, stop. We'll get some cards about it, but I feel like a lot of you guys know. I'm good. How are you? I already know that that there are certain people in your life who you don't match with anymore because you've changed, or because you don't allow yourself to lower your standards anymore. It's not a vibe match, okay? 100%. Let's get some cards about it. It's Bubs. Okay, let's get some cards about it. No, I don't do that. Okay, let's get in here. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands. Yes, I feel like, you know what, this is cool because when you start having a passion for life again, you could even just be like in a position where you don't want to spend time with the same people because they bring your vibe down. You're going to see that. They bring your vibe all the way down. Wow. Just like these people in the chat who I'm kicking out, they don't match my vibe. They don't match my frequency. They just want to come in here and talk crap. It's the same in the real world. You're out here vibing, enjoying life, doing your thing, and it's almost like you're repelled by these people now. You're repelled by them. You can see through them because people want to stay stuck in their same frequency. They don't want to do the work to change. They want to continue to go to the same places, drink the same drinks, say the same toxic things over and over, not make a change. Or like that, like for example, I I don't have the same friends that I used to have, because that one friend, whenever she comes around, all she does is talk about her boyfriend negatively. This is just a fake example. Negatively about her boyfriend and about how he is mean to her and abuses her and cheats. But she never leaves that guy. She never makes a change. So I had to stop talking to that person because I got sick and tired of hearing the same story over and over again, seeing them deteriorate, not being able to do anything about it. I had to separate myself because it wasn't enjoyable for me to be around that person anymore. And you're going to find that in your dating life as well. I am inspired by life. I'm going after my goals. Yet this person doesn't want to elevate. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to eat better. They don't want to exercise. They don't even want to go outside. We don't like to do the same things anymore. They like to work their crappy blue-collar job, drink on the weekends, come home and watch 18 hours of television and complain about their life and not do anything about it. I can't be in a relationship with someone who sits and rots all the time. That's not a vibration match. That's not a frequency match. I'm off living my life, going in nature, meditating, whatever it is that you're doing out there to better myself and better my life, and I can't be around that kind of energy anymore. Hey guys, hello. How y'all doing out there? The Hermit. You'll see memes about this all the time, about how you're being isolated for a reason, not because you're meant to be lonely, because you're making changes in your life, but because this is God intervening. The Hermit is like God or the divine or source consciousness, whatever your higher power is. That is divine intervention protecting you from volatile energy, energy vampires, all of that. So now you're in this cocoon, and there is kind of a limbo stage where you have to start meeting people of your tribe again, because you've raised your standards, you raise your vibration, you've raised your frequency. So yeah, it can be feeling lonely at times because you see through these people. You know you can't go on dates with them anymore because they're staying stuck in their life and I'm going after things. So it can feel isolating at times. It can be very isolating. Hi there. And then we have, the Knight of Swords. I love that. The Knight of Swords is, I really just don't have time for it. The Knight of Swords can be a bit aggressive, can be a bit, what's the word? They're not somebody who sits around. They're too busy. They're too busy doing things. People can't always keep up with you. When you're out there, when you're on a spirit quest, you're on a spirit journey, they can't keep up with you. They don't have the energy to do the things that you want to do. And that's just unfortunate, right? Because the Knight of Swords is a go-getter. They go out there, but they have a lot of thoughts in their head, and they have a lot of elevated thoughts in their head. They're an intellectual. You could be meeting people and you realize that once you have your spiritual awakening, because if you're coming to this, you're probably having a spiritual awakening. I have all these intellectual thoughts in my head, and the people around me, they don't stimulate me mentally anymore. They want to have the same conversations, or they want to talk, they want to gossip, and I have ideas in my head, and I want to talk about innovation, and I want to talk about deep, heavy concepts, and these people can't vibe with me because they just want to stay stuck or they want to gossip, and that's not a frequency match for me. They can't come with me to the places that I'm going. I'm going to the top of the mountain, okay? And they don't have the boots for it. They have the same old crappy tennis shoes. That's not going to get them to the top of the mountain. Oh, that's interesting, UKG. Then we have the Seven of Cups. You have a lot of options out there. Some people are incredibly confused and they can't make a choice. And that keeps people stuck, right? But when you have a spiritual awakening, that in and of itself is a choice. I choose to be elevated. I choose to see things from a different perspective. Because the history of this card is that there's different things on the cards that the person can choose. One of them is a person, one of them is a job. One of the things that they could choose is like just slacking. Another thing that they could choose is to be more spiritual, to develop their psychic abilities or their intuition. If you've had a spiritual awakening, you're choosing to heighten your intuition, and so you're not confused anymore. And a lot of people, they will look to you for answers because they're really confused. Yeah, Adrian, that could potentially be true. Okay. And we have the Emperor. This is boss mode. Yes. If you're in boss mode, you don't have time to mess around. The Emperor has big goals, big dreams, big visions, and they definitely don't have time to waste on gossip. They don't have time to waste on drama. They don't have time to waste because they're busy ruling an empire. They're ruling an empire. I don't have time for that. And that, whatever that means to you, because your empire is your life. It's what you do on a day-to-day, your grind or whatever. When you get to the top of the mountain and you oversee everything, right? That's the Emperor. Four of Cups in, is this a five? Five of Cups in reverse. I don't want to be miserable anymore. Bunch of haters. Okay. Nope, I have a card on the floor. Five of Cups in reverse is like getting out of a place of misery, processing grief, processing disappointment, moving on from grief, moving on from disappointment. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people who will stay stuck because they choose it. Hello. They choose to stay stuck. It feels good. It's like misery loves company. And once again, that's like getting together with your friends who like to commiserate. It's like they're always in that same stale, sad energy, or they're still mourning their ex and they're never going to stop, even though there's plenty of opportunity to meet. And I don't want to be in that energy anymore where I'm miserable and I'm enjoying, comfortable in my misery. I'm comfortable in my grief. You're raising your vibration, your standards, means coming out of that grief and realizing there's other opportunities. I don't have to grieve the things that I've lost. I can transmute that energy into success. 100%. How you guys doing today? I love to hear you guys in the comments, but good things. I feel like only you know your soul's purpose. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, you guys, this isn't a free questions live, so I'm not going to be answering your questions today. Three of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Your ships are coming in because you've decided to put energy into it. Yes, a lot of people won't align to you anymore because you have gone after your goals. You've put the energy into it, and they're staying stuck. They're not putting the energy in, and they could see you as potentially as threatening to their way of life. And believe it or not, it's not just that people are jealous that you're doing well or that you're achieving things or that you're just happy. It's just they see it as a threat to their way of life. And that's not going to be a fun time for you to be around people. And you'll see if people are actually really celebrating your success, or if they're just being fake with you. And that's relationships too. And it's a very disappointing thing if you're dating someone or if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't celebrate your wins, who tries to hold you back from achieving things because they don't want to lose you. And it's an insecurity. You almost want to feel bad for people who don't want to see you succeed because they have a deep inferiority complex where they think that you're not going to want to be around them if you achieve these certain goals. And so that's really sad. And yes, partners will sometimes do that. They'll try and prevent you from taking opportunities. You see movies all the time about it where, you know, the girl, she got a job offer and it's her dream job. She got this job offer in Paris, and you know, her boyfriend is trying to talk crap about the job opportunity because he doesn't want to lose her because he doesn't have anything going on for himself. And that's the type of energy, those are the type of people who are going to fall out of your life. They're not helping you achieve your goals. They're trying to hold you back, keep you stuck. They can't come with you, and they know it. And so they want to ruin what you have going. They want to ruin what you have going on. Wow. People are crazy. Hello, guys. How y'all doing? Have you guys experienced this yourself, where you had to stop hanging out with people because they didn't want you to succeed, or because they were jealous of you, or now, and this happens all the time in breakups. Let's say that you broke up with your ex, right? I mean, we have breakups all the time, and if you maybe spent a good portion of time grieving this person, wishing they could come back, doesn't matter who broke up with who, and then you finally get over it and you do well for yourself, and you're just not in a place of mourning that person anymore, and you run into them and you're like, whew, oh my goodness, what was I so hung up about? Like, you don't see what you used to see in them. You see them from a different light, and you're not attracted to them anymore. Your vibrations have changed. Your standards have changed. You wouldn't even want them back if they wanted you anymore. And this is the type of situation that I'm talking about. And some of you guys might not, you know, you could still be grieving a relationship, but give it time. Give it time. And if you're succeeding in life and you're going after your goals, eventually you're going to supersede that person. They're going to stay stuck here on the couch with their potato chips, and you're going to be on the top of that mountain looking down on them like, thank goodness I didn't stay in that relationship, because look what I have achieved now that I have left that, right? And so it's good motivation for you guys out there who are struggling. See what you can achieve without this person. See what you can achieve. And especially, oh, thanks, Theo Arts. Especially if you had a hard time with it. If you had a hard time with that relationship, don't go back. Don't go back to something that is going to hold you back. There is so much more out there that you can achieve, that you can attain. And we're talking about friendships too. That happened to me for sure, because I decided to stop partying. I don't party anymore. I don't really drink. It's not my thing. And because of that, because I can relate, because of that, I don't have this big network of friends that I used to have, because I don't like to sit around and drink and waste my time. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I'm in it. And in my personal life, if I feel like I'm couch rotting or something like that, I'm like, I got to do something with my life. I've got to get out there. So yeah, we'll go through a period where we're feeling like we don't match with anyone. You're still turning into the person that you're going to be. And so you want people who are on that journey of success with you, who are going to climb the mountain with you. People who are going to climb the mountain with you. Who's going to be there with you? Who's got the right shoes? And it's hard, a hard thing to grasp. And it's not that you're better than these people, it's that you've made different decisions in your life. You've made different decisions in your life, and that's it. It's not anybody is better or worse. That's not what we're doing here today. We're just talking about making different life decisions, and how you're going to repel that energy. That energy is going to be repelled from you, and in a way you're protect. Like they always say, rejection is redirection, and it's true. Because if you were to stay stuck, pining over someone who wasn't right for you in the first place, you wouldn't achieve what you've achieved, what you could have achieved, if you had moved on from it and just put all that energy back into yourself. Put all of that energy back into yourself. Okay, you guys, I'm probably going to get out of here. This was just a quick little read for you guys, and I hope that you guys understand that you deserve more. And, if somebody doesn't want to be around you anymore, take that as a clue that they are not ready to receive your energy. They're not going to help you achieve your goals. They're going to bring you down to their level. And you can do so much more with your time, energy, and attention. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope this reading elevated your consciousness in some type of way, shape, or form. I'll see y'all later. Bye.